I'll welcome you all to the lecture video session on Management and Entrepreneurship 18EE51, the second module, which is for organization and organizing and staffing. In the previous lecture videos, we were discussing about how to go with the different type of organizations, what are the nature and characteristics of the organizations, and how the organizations can be structured and why the structuring is required and what are the different types of organizations. In that, like the different classifications that we have done, we have discussed about the line organization, which is much similar to the organization which is where the line of command is given by one authority, which is carried out by a minimum number of people, and the complete control will be in the hands of the most superior person. So this kind of organization, this kind of line organization structure is most applicable or more suitable for small job shops or restaurants. And we saw the advantages as well as the disadvantages of the line organization. And we understood that the advantages of the line organization is that minimum number of people are involved, and then the maximum number of work could be done within the stipulated time. And automatic and then the continuous process industries such as paper industry, sugar industry, textile industries are more suitable to go with the line organization structure. And as well as the best example that we could see is the military type of organization or the defense organizations, where the complete control will be given to a hand from the superior. All the commands will be passed on to the subordinates, and then it is very easy to follow the instructions, and there will not be any overlapping of the instructions to the subordinates. Next, we will study about, or we will discuss about, the functional organization. This particular functional organization concept is also called as a staff organization. The management thinker F.W. Taylor suggested that the functional organization where the workers consult the specialist for a particular type of work could give more productivity and the efficiency and the efficacy of the particular projects. And the F.W. Taylor also said that when the people or when the workers consult the specialists, they carry out the work in a much more professional way, and instead of referring it to only bosses, they will also consult the specialists who are subject experts. So this has evolved mainly because it was very difficult to find out a middle level manager who is perfect in all the aspects of management levels, and who is specialized in all aspects of management. So in this type of organizations where the functional organization is much more specific, the authority is delegated to a person or individual or a department. This particular department authorizes the control of the specific processes, practices, policies, or the procedures. If the principle of unity of command is exercised, it may not be able to get all-round expertise in one person. So this kind of functional organizations are concerned to one particular process. So we see the structure of the functional organization subsequently, and hence we can often this kind of organization, functional organization, results in a slowdown of the process, because it has got the limited options to expand its growth. So the people who are employed in a particular process will only be able to reach the verticals in that process only, and the cross functioning may not be possible. Hence the growth of the employees are limited in this type of organization, because this type of in this type, the work or the process is delegated to a superior or to another department if it is required to go with another process. So as the name itself suggests that each task of the manufacturing is divided into one particular function, and it is divided into, it is the the authority is given to the different heads, and the direction of the subordinates should be divided according to the type of the work that is involved. When we see an industry, the particular functional organization structure looks like this. So where a general manager is a superior who is going to give the command to the different processes or different functions. Office is a different type of function. Shop is a different kind of function. In an office, in an organization, we will see the office as well as the production floor. Shop refers to the production floor, where we will have different kind of people involved in different kinds of processes. If we see office, we will see different kind of clerks. For example, in an office, there could be a root clerk, there could be a instruction clerk who is going to give the instructions, and there could be a person who is involved in maintaining the discipline, who is called as disciplinarian or the disciplinary clerk, and there could be the clerk who will be maintaining the time and the cost of any of the office. So these are the four different types of clerks, for example, that is involved in an office. In the office, there could be different people like the office superintendent, and there could be a clerk who will be looking into the logistics. There could be a clerk who will be looking into the employee welfare, who will be looking at the cost, and there could be a clerk who is involved in the administrative processes, who could be involved in the examination processes. Like this, there could be different type of clerks who are involved in the office functioning. When we refer the shop could be referred to the production floor. So when we see this shop, there could be a gang boss, there could be a speed boss, there could be a repair boss, there could be a inspection boss. The gang boss is the one who will be taking care of the different type of gangs who are working on a process, and speed boss is the one who will be taking care of the time and then the period of working, and repair boss is the one who will be taking care of the maintenance of all the machineries that are involved in a process, and the inspection clerk or inspection boss is the one who is involved in a inspection process. So here what happens is that if the functioning has to happen smoothly, each one of them will be taking care of their own work and they will not be cross functioning it. So the shop contains a different type of processes which is functioning separately, and it is given, the authority is given to the different bosses who will be making sure that the particular work is done in a particular period of time. So all are workers who are divided according to the functions. So this is called as a function organization chart. So in this function organization chart, as we have seen, the whole activity is divided into different functions, and in a larger organization, the functioning could be from production, office, and administration. It could be R&D, it could be personnel department, it could be a purchase department, it could be a sales department, it could be a marketing department, and there could be a different department which may be taking care of the liaising and then the publicity also. So these departments will serve and as a root of the organization. And the example for this kind of department, which are going to be the rest of the organizational departments, are personnel department, where it is going to take care of the training of the personals involved and training of the human resources, development of the human resource, recruitment process, and the different kind of human resources who are involved in it on a day-to-day basis and the process-wise basis. And hiring also comes in the same department. So for the whole organization, whether it is a purchase department or the production department, wherever the human resources are required in all the levels, the human resource department or the personnel department is going to take care of it. And the purchase department, wherever the purchases are involved, no matter whether it is a different department, the purchase requirement will be taken care by the purchase department. It could be for the whole organization, whatever the purchases to be done, that will be taken care by the purchase department only. So there will not be any cross functioning. So the care should be taken in dividing the work into different functions, and the whole work has to be divided into the various departments, and where the activities are particularly maintained. And there should not be, while making this kind of functioning or the different kind of functions, the work has to be seen as a whole process, and there should not be any one function that is left out without any kind of attention. And there should not be duplication of the works also, and the works should be allotted to each department, and it should not consist of interrelated jobs. That means to say that if the purchasing has to be taken care in any one of the department, only the purchasing department will take care of that, and none other department is going